It is a new week, JP Morosi. Let's find some free agents a home, shall we? Good Monday morning to you. You know I'm going to ask about Jorge Soler again until he finds a home. And I did a quick search, and San Francisco at the top of the rumor mill. How much truth is there to that? Good morning.
Lauren, good morning. Jorge Soler and the Giants, they've had a long conversation this offseason, and I'm told it continues here still this week. There's no deal, no agreement, but the Giants are among the teams that have stayed in touch with Soler's representation. From what I can piece together here, that there are teams, have been teams, comfortable giving Soler a 2-year deal, but he's looking for a third, or at least 2 plus a player option for a third. And that is where things currently stand, we believe, with the Giants and potentially other clubs as well. There you see it, 36 home runs with the Marlins last year. The Giants, a team that have been looking for power just like the kind of power that Soler possesses, and that's why there is a bit of a staring contest going on between Soler's camp and the Giants. So again, stay tuned on that one. As we know, Padres and Dodgers already having open camp, and camps opening around the majors this week. So really, it is getting late early for a lot of these still remaining free agents. I would also add this quickly on the Giants. Matt Chapman, still a possibility as well. Bob Melvin, the Giants' new manager, is a big Matt Chapman fan. And so if the Giants do not get Soler, the answer might be Chapman.
Okay, everyone wants a home for multiple years. You cannot fault them one bit. You said it's February 12th. I mean, and Ron said it. Pitchers are at camp or going to camp. Are we waiting on the Blake Snells and the Jordan Montgomerys to find homes for Michael Lorenzen and Noah Syndergaard?
It's a great question, Lauren. I do think for both Lorenzen and Syndergaard, there are plenty of scenarios out there in which they will sign before Snell and Montgomery do. And the reason is that their market is a little more clearly defined. They're probably looked upon as depth starting pitchers right now, but they are working out. Teams have seen them throw actually in person. So scouts have had a chance to put eyes on both pitchers. And there's a general confidence that both are in a good place, physically, mentally ready to go. And a number of teams out there looking for help. Padres, Pirates, Twins, Cubs, Rays. I was told over the weekend, all looking at different starting pitching options. It's interesting, of course, the Phillies, their reported deal with Spencer Turnbull over the weekend. The Padres, for me, given the uncertainty of some of their key guys coming back, and of course, not having Blake Snell on their roster any longer, the Padres a very clear fit. And the Twins, who made the Nick Gordon trade for Okert over the weekend, they're still looking for starting pitching help, especially without Maeda and Gray right now. So I do think the Twins will find a way to get some depth. And Lorenzen and Syndergaard seem to be about in the price range and the ability that they're looking at right now.
Okay.
The Twins have a new explosive weapon.
I knew that was coming. All right, enough out of you.
I walked right into that
You
one. I knew,
absolutely
Lauren,
did.
It was a very, very active A block in terms of how often the soundboard was involved.
It was broken on Friday.
I know. So Maddie is making up for it entirely. There's actually a lot of thoughts out there about the over-under on number of times the soundboard is active today.
Whenever it
How
plays,
much Italian
you know he's
speaking,
bored.
Mike?
So we got to pick up this segment. Hey, the Dodgers' arms are set, I think. Wouldn't it be something if they weren't? I remember there were questions even in October about Walker Buehler's availability. I saw he threw a bullpen. Tell me, how'd it go?
Very interesting. And Lauren, very encouraged the Dodgers are in Walker Buehler and his potential for 2024. A great story at MLB.com by our colleague Juan Toribio about Walker Buehler. And the Dodgers, they've done a really good job, I think, of bringing Buehler along slowly, saying that they're understanding and comfortable, even with him beginning the season on the injured list, just to make sure they're not rushing him back. And so for as much excitement as there has been in Dodger camp for Yamamoto's first bullpen session and Shohei watching him, this is the guy in many ways, I believe, who will determine the success or failure of the Dodger rotation in 2024. If those numbers look more like the 2021 Buehler or the 2020 postseason Buehler, this team is going to be outstanding. Because you look back at the track record of glass now. He has not really been a 200-inning type pitcher. Yamamoto, it's year 1 for him in MLB. You wonder what exactly you can count on from each individual starter in the rotation. And Buehler, you saw on the graphic a moment ago what he has been able to do at this level, at the highest level, in helping the Dodgers win a championship in 20 and what he did the next year as well. So, of course, it is his second Tommy John procedure. So I think that means, Lauren, they'll be even more cautious than you would otherwise. And so I think it's wise on the Dodgers' part here to play it along slowly, even though a lot of word out of Glendale, and again from Juan's story, a lot of optimism about what they saw from Walker Buehler in bullpen number 1.
JP, I buried the lead. My bad. Caribbean Series. I know you're bursting to talk about it. Team Venezuela all the way.
Well, Lauren, I'm not sure. There may have been another sporting competition over the weekend. Wasn't really aware of it because I was focused on the Caribbean Series. Lone Depot Park, Miami, Florida. Venezuela winning it with Ozzie Guillen. Briefly, the manager of the Marlins in that very ballpark more than a decade ago, he gets his championship in Miami. Los Tiburones de la Guaira, his team. There he is with the trophy of the Caribbean Series. Andy Chavez there in the background, part of the coaching staff as well. For Los Tiburones, there's the pitching coach, Carlos Zambrano. They win it over the Dominican Republic, and Ozzie makes history, joining Tommy Lasorda, the only 2 managers ever to win both the World Series and the Caribbean Series. We thank our own Matt Orso. What a great research note this is. Tommy Lasorda, if we could only go back in time 50 years to what that must have been like for Tommy managing in the Dominican Republic back then. And Ozzie Guillen, how about that? Nearly 2 decades after that triumph for the White Sox over the Astros in the 05 Fall Classic, he wins it with Venezuela in Miami. What a great story. We believe next year's tournament's going to be in Mexicali. So the great competition. I love it this time of year. The perfect appetizer for spring training.
Let's go. I love the tears and the emotion. International baseball, JP. You sold me on it. Thanks so much.